believe my son went on Shay Shay, and he know how much I love Shay Shay. Talking about I want to be his, I'm sabotaging his, he just meeting him. If you just meeting him, ain't nobody supposed to know. Nobody. Okay? And you guys have to remember, I grew up in Los Angeles, California, around nothing but Los Angeles got the best gold diggers on this motherfucking planet. So all my friends and people that I know, they know how to scam. They know how to get your last dollar.
They told Blueface to sit down, talk calmly, and clear the air instead. He lit a match and walked away while the whole family caught fire. Because the moment that Club Shay Shay interview dropped, the internet wasn't debating what Blueface said. They were watching who exploded next. And right on schedule, his mom Karlissa came flying out of the corner like a plot twist nobody prayed for. This wasn't disappointment. This wasn't concern. This was full parental DEFCON 1. The kind of reaction that makes you say, yeah, that should have stayed off camera, while Blueface sat there speaking like a man who just discovered therapy buzzwords. Karlissa was somewhere watching the interview like it personally disrespected her bloodline. And when she finally spoke, phew, the tone was less concerned mother and more family group chat after midnight. People thought the interview was about growth. Karlissa heard betrayal. Suddenly, it wasn't just Blueface versus the internet anymore. It was mother versus narrative, and nobody was safe from the fallout. Old wounds reopened. Old grudges got refreshed. And family business that should have stayed private got launched into the algorithm like a missile. This wasn't damage control. This was damage multiplication. It exploded because he did that interview on that platform with that level of comfort, honesty, and selective memory. When Blueface sat down on Club Shay Shay, he didn't walk in like a man bracing for accountability. He walked in like someone ready to rewrite the story with better lighting, calm tone, reflective pauses, just enough vulnerability to sound evolved, but not enough specifics to actually fix anything. And that's where the trouble started, because while the internet was busy debating whether Blueface sounded mature or media trained, someone else was watching with a very different lens, his mother. Enter Karlissa. Now let's be clear. Karlissa has never been the quiet, background mom who claps politely from the sidelines. She's always been loud, present, and emotionally invested, sometimes to a level that makes people squint and ask uncomfortable questions. So when Blueface started talking about his life, his relationships, his mistakes, and his growth, without centering her version of events, that interview didn't sound like honesty to Karlissa. It sounded like revisionist history. Because here's the thing about family dynamics. Everyone remembers the same events differently, but mothers remember them with emotion attached. And when a son goes on a massive platform and tells his truth, moms don't hear nuance, they hear omission. And Karlissa heard plenty missing. As clips from the interview spread, the reaction online was split. Some praised Blueface for finally sounding grounded. Others said it felt rehearsed, like someone who learned the language of accountability without fully accepting responsibility. But Karlissa, she wasn't analyzing tone or growth arcs. She was clocking disrespect. Because from her perspective, this wasn't just a man speaking on his life. This was her son airing family business without clearing it with the family, talking about situations that involved her, while framing himself as the misunderstood centerpiece. And when mothers feel erased from their own sacrifices, they don't whisper. The tension didn't build slowly. It snapped. Karlissa's response didn't feel like a reaction. It felt like a release. Like someone who'd been holding commentary in for years and finally got permission from the algorithm to unload it. Her tone wasn't calm. Her words weren't filtered. Her energy wasn't "let me explain." It was "since we're telling stories now, let me tell mine." And just like that, what started as an interview became a family dispute with a front row audience. People watching could feel it instantly. This wasn't about one comment. This was about long-standing frustration bubbling over. Old resentments dusted off and reintroduced like they never left. The kind of emotional backlog that doesn't get solved, it gets exposed. Fans immediately split into camps. One side said Karlissa was doing too much, that she should have handled it privately, that going public only made things worse. They argued that Blueface deserved space to grow without parental commentary turning into a spectacle. The other side, they said moms get tired too. They argued that Karlissa had been painted as a villain for years, blamed for behavior she didn't create, and sidelined while everyone else told stories involving her name. To them, this was a woman finally refusing to be silent while narratives were being shaped around her. And then there were the observers who noticed something else entirely, that this family doesn't do boundaries. Everything lives online. Every disagreement becomes content. Every emotional moment gets monetized by views, reactions, and think pieces. Privacy doesn't just get ignored. It gets traded for relevance, and that's what made this moment so combustible. Because Blueface didn't just speak for himself, he inadvertently reopened every unresolved family argument that never got closure. Behind the scenes, Karlissa didn't just respond, she reasserted her presence in a story that was drifting away from her control. And the internet, it leaned forward, because when family members start correcting each other publicly, it stops being about right and wrong. It becomes about power, about who gets to tell the story first, loudest, and most convincingly. The interview wasn't even that long, but its impact felt nuclear. Every clip replayed became ammunition. Every pause got reinterpreted. Every calm sentence Blueface spoke now had an invisible asterisk next to it reading, according to him, and Karlissa made it clear she had footnotes. The scary part, this wasn't a blow-up fueled by impulse. It felt calculated by exhaustion. Like someone who finally decided that if the family business was going to be discussed publicly, she wasn't going to sit quietly while the narrative moved on without her, which meant one thing was inevitable. This wasn't stopping with one response. This wasn't cooling off with one explanation. This wasn't getting resolved by a phone call. Because once parents and children start debating truth on public platforms, the issue stops being the interview. It becomes the relationship. And the internet could feel it, that uncomfortable sense that this wasn't entertainment anymore, but something heavier trying to disguise itself as drama. Once Karlissa spoke, the situation stopped being a family disagreement and officially became an internet event. Because when a mother goes public about her own child, the audience doesn't just listen, it chooses sides immediately. Clips of Karlissa started spreading faster than the original Club Shay Shay interview itself. Not full explanations, not context-heavy breakdowns, just sharp sound bites, emotionally charged statements, and facial expressions that screamed, "I've been holding this in for years," and the internet ate it up. Suddenly, Blueface's calm, reflective tone from the interview didn't look so calm anymore. It looked strategic. People started saying he sounded like someone who learned how to apologize without actually apologizing. Like a man fluent in therapy language but allergic to accountability. Memes wasted no time. Screenshots comparing Blueface's interview posture to Karlissa's fiery responses popped up everywhere. One post said, "This man went on Club Shay Shay to look healed and came back home spiritually grounded." Another joked that Karlissa didn't watch the interview, she endured it. And just like that, the narrative flipped. At first, Blueface was getting praised for growth. Now, he was being accused of rebranding mid-chaos. The same words people once called mature were now being labeled PR-coded. Every pause became suspicious. Every calm sentence sounded rehearsed. Karlissa's anger gave the situation emotional gravity, because whether people agreed with her or not, they could feel one thing clearly. This wasn't fake outrage. This wasn't clout-chasing energy. This was personal, unpolished, and messy in a way you can't script, and the reactions started pouring in from everywhere. Some creators backed Karlissa, saying mothers get blamed for everything and credited for nothing. They argued she carried the weight while her son turned chaos into a career. To them, her outburst wasn't embarrassing. It was overdue. Others dragged her hard. They said she crossed lines, that parenting shouldn't be performed online. that she was making herself part of the problem instead of the solution. Some even claimed she was sabotaging her son's attempt at redemption, and that debate became louder than the original issue. Meanwhile, Blueface stayed quiet. No response. No clarification. No, that's my mom, please relax. And that silence. It didn't come anything. It made it worse. Because now people weren't just dissecting what Karlissa said, they were questioning why Blueface wasn't stepping in. Was he letting her crash out? Was he avoiding confrontation? Or was he confident the internet would eventually move on? Spoiler alert, it didn't. Every hour that passed added more commentary. Influencers weighed in with think piece energy. Some framed it as generational trauma spilling into public view. Others called it a textbook example of fame breaking family boundaries. Someone compared it to a reality show that forgot to stop filming. Another viral post said, "This family doesn't need therapy, they need NDEs." And then the comparisons went nuclear. People said this made celebrity family drama look amateur. That even the most famous reality TV families at least pretend to keep certain conversations off camera. This was raw. No polish, no producers stepping in. Just emotion and resentment colliding in real time. The memes escalated from funny to uncomfortable. Jokes about family meetings going live. Jokes about family meetings going live. Posts saying Club Shay Shay and Lock the final boss side-by-sides of the interviewed Cher versus Karlissa's reaction captions reading, "Same story, different universe." But beneath the humor was something heavier. This wasn't just drama, it was legacy tension. Karlissa wasn't only reacting to one interview. She was reacting to years of being portrayed a certain way. Years of watching narratives form without her consent. Years of feeling blamed when things went wrong and ignored when things went right. And the internet, for once, noticed. Even people who didn't like her admitted something felt real about her frustration. You could hear it in the tone, not rage for attention, but exhaustion from being sidelined. That's what complicated the conversation. Because now it wasn't easy to villainize her, and it wasn't easy to fully defend Blueface either. He suddenly looked like a man, caught between growth and avoidance, trying to move forward while leaving unresolved messes behind him, including family ones. And that's when the discourse shifted again, from who's wrong to why does this keep happening. People started noticing patterns. Every time Blueface tries to rebrand, chaos follows. Every time he speaks calmly, someone from his past pops up with unfinished business. It's like accountability chases him faster than redemption, and Karlissa's eruption became symbolic. Not just of a mother upset, but of everything. Unresolved coming back to collect. The energy online changed from amusement to anticipation, because everyone sensed it. This wasn't the climax. This was the escalation before consequences. The laughter slowed. The commentary sharpened. And the question became unavoidable. What happens after the internet gets bored? But the family still has to live with what was said. Because once words are spoken publicly, they don't disappear when the trend ends. By the time the noise started to fade, one thing became painfully obvious. This wasn't a momentary blow-up. This was a fracture settling into place. Because internet drama doesn't end when people stop posting. It ends when the damage becomes permanent. For Karlissa, the aftermath hid in layers. To some viewers, she emerged as the raw, unfiltered truth teller, a mother who finally snapped after watching her role get rewritten in public. They saw a woman who refused to let her sacrifices be edited out of a redemption arc that didn't include her. To others, though, she became the symbol of everything that makes family dynamics online unbearable. Too involved, too public, too combustible. Critics said she didn't just react, she escalated, turning a son's interview into a generational tug-of-war aired in real time. And once the internet labels you, it rarely lets go. Meanwhile, Blueface walked away from the interview with a reputation that felt complicated. The calm demeanor that once earned praise now felt fragile. Every word he spoke on growth got replayed next to his mother's rage. And suddenly the contrast worked against him. Instead of looking healed, he looked and finished, people started questioning whether growth that excludes accountability is really growth at all. Whether you can claim maturity while unresolved family conflicts trail behind you like unpaid debts. The interview that was supposed to mark a turning point began to look like a pause button instead. And then there was the most uncomfortable realization of all. Nobody won, not Karlissa, who now had her emotions dissected by strangers who've never lived a day in her household. Not Blueface, whose attempt at rebranding got swallowed by family fallout. Not the fans, who watched something deeply personal turn into entertainment. The relationship between mother and son didn't just take a hit, it took on public memory. Every future interaction will now carry the weight of what was said online. Every disagreement risks becoming a sequel. Every silence will be read as strategy. And the internet will remember, because screenshots don't forget. Clips don't expire. Narratives don't reset. This situation didn't end with an apology or reconciliation post. It faded out the way modern scandals do, unresolved, uncomfortable, and archived forever. The jokes stopped being funny. The memes aged badly. The commentary shifted from laughter to unease. People started saying the quiet part out loud. Fame didn't create this dysfunction. It just amplified it. Family issues that might have stayed behind closed doors got weaponized by platforms, algorithms, and audience appetite. And the scariest part, this dynamic didn't feel unique. It felt familiar. Another example of how celebrity culture blurs boundaries until parents, children, partners, and pain all become content. Where healing gets rushed for optics. Where private conversations get replaced with public declarations. Karlissa's reaction became a cautionary symbol. Blueface's interview became a reminder that you can't selectively grow. You either deal with the mess or it shows up louder. As the trend cooled, something lingered beneath the surface. Distance. Not just between mother and son, but between perception and reality. Between who people think these individuals are and who they might actually be when the cameras turn off. And that distance is dangerous. Because once relationships get mediated through comment sections, rebuilding them takes more than time. It takes trust, and trust doesn't survive viral moments easily. The interview was meant to close a chapter. Karlissa's response reopened the book. And now, every future headline involving this family will echo this moment. Every calm statement will feel rehearsed. Every emotional reaction will feel expected. That's the real consequence, not embarrassment. Not backlash, but permanence. Because in the internet age, drama doesn't end, it waits for the next interview, the next outburst, the next moment someone decides to clear the air again. And when that happens, this chapter won't be forgotten. It'll be referenced, because once family drama goes public, it never truly goes away, all right? Now that you've seen how one interview turned into a full-blown family earthquake, it's time to stop acting like you're just watching from the sidelines, because if you made it this far, you're already in it. So let's talk. Who do you think crossed the line? Was Karlissa speaking her truth after years of being erased? Was Blueface trying to grow, or trying to escape accountability with better vocabulary? And be honest, should family business ever be aired this publicly, or was this explosion inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't be shy. I want hot takes. I want unpopular opinions. I want debates that start calm and end with someone typing in all caps. And while you're down there, smash that like button like it owes you back rent. Because every like tells the algorithm this chaos deserves to be seen. Hit subscribe like you already know peace never lasts in celebrity families, especially when microphones get involved. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next meltdown. Because over here, drama doesn't wait for permission. Interviews drop, responses explode, and somebody always decides to tell their side at the worst possible time. This channel is where polished narratives get cracked open, where calm interviews meet emotional receipts, and where family drama doesn't stay private, it goes viral. Remember, the internet moves fast, but scandals move faster. And when the next headline hits, when the next I just want to clear the air moment spirals into chaos, you already know where to be. Same breakdowns, Same unapologetic energy. Same truth behind the mess. This is Fame Flaws, where celebrity shine fades.